Hey everybody, come on in. This is the Yankey Show. We're going to start in just a second. This is exclusive to YouTube. We're going to be moving a lot more of our content over here to YouTube. But come on in, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll start in just a second. Got a lot of things planned to talk about today. We're going to hang out. If you've never been to a Yankey Show, this is a random podcast-style talk show where we hang out. I work off the comments. I got some things written down to talk about. We're going to talk about my stray cat, marijuana legalization, fake marijuana cartridges, and the new pic of Mars that NASA released. So come on in. We're going to hang out for a little while. We'll start in just a minute. I just give you a little time to get in, like, and share. But subscribe and take part in the show. Comment. I thrive off your comments, so we'll always have a better show if there's a good comment section. But share this out. I am no longer going to share. You know, I've got a new strategy when it comes to doing these shows. I'm going to give it up to God. It'll either get shared or it won't. You see what I mean? But if you want to support our shows, there are links in the description for how to do that. And I would really appreciate it. We're a completely crowd-funded organization, so any support would be great. But thanks for showing up. This is Yankey Show, and I am Sean Yankey, your host. What we're going to do is hang out for a little while and talk about life, current events, and things like that. Hi, everybody. But we do this live on Facebook. This used to be a Facebook show, but I am going to start multi-streaming. I am going to figure that out today, and hopefully tonight's Conspiracy Theories and Chill, which will be on at 9 p.m., will be multi-streamed. We'll be on here as well as Facebook, because Facebook has shadow banned me. Facebook has put me in a special kind of Facebook jail for people that share too much. They think I share too much. And I'm not allowed to share to pages or groups. I can share to my timeline, and that's it. So I'm not going to share anymore. I've decided that if Facebook wants to suppress me, then Facebook is free to do that. You know, they're a private company, and if they don't like my content, they don't have to support it. They don't have to do anything for me. I will use other sites. So I will figure out multi-streaming today, and hopefully tonight we will be multi-streaming and doing that. So tonight's Conspiracy Theories and Chill will most likely be on here as well. So at 9 p.m., check out Conspiracy Theories and Chill. Tonight we're going into Lucis Trust. We're going to look at Lucis Trust, which is a Luciferian organization that runs out of the United Nations. And it is fascinating. So we are going to get deep into that. We're going to talk about Lucis Trust and find out more about that organization. And that's what we're going to do tonight on Conspiracy Theories and Chill. But right now it's Yankey Show, and we're just hanging out. And one of the main things on my mind to talk about is marijuana. I'm a cannabis enthusiast, and you may be too. A lot of people are, more than you'd think. You know, marijuana is more accepted culturally than people even imagine. You know, it's been given a bad rap for a long time. Let me bring in the screen here and put up some pictures. But it's been given a bad rap for a very long time. But marijuana is becoming mainstream. Marijuana is coming to the surface. People are realizing that this is a miracle plant. You know, marijuana has been around forever. Of course, I mean, it's from God. I believe it's a miracle, a plant that was placed here for our use. But I'm religious. You know, you may not be. Even if you're not, scientifically, I think you have to acknowledge that marijuana is probably the most useful plant on the planet. And the fact that it's classified as a Schedule I drug right next to heroin is a crime against humanity, quite frankly. But it's being legalized slowly across the country, slowly, but it's happening. My state, Missouri, in the Bible Belt, even legalized medical marijuana. The first of the year, it will be legal in my state. I never thought I would see that. I never thought I would see the day when marijuana would be legal. But the reason marijuana is legal is money. Now the government is paying their bills with weed money. And that's why it's legal. There is huge money in marijuana. Huge. And huge medical benefits. So I don't mind that money is the driving factor. And because of course it is. And I like that they're pushing the money angle. I like that they're doing that because that's what's going to get the elite and the powerful to raise their attention and to come around to legalizing marijuana is the money involved. But when the dispensary looks like an iTunes store, I think it's time to let people out of prison. When the government is selling weed to pay their bills, I don't think we can put people in prison for a flower, I don't think that's right. I don't think we should be doing that. But to me, cannabis, which is what I'd rather call it, marijuana is a derogatory term that was placed on it by the propaganda industry. They ran a campaign to make marijuana illegal because hemp was in a position to take over the timber industry. Hemp is very useful. Marijuana's cousin, or cannabis's cousin, hemp. Very useful plant, and also doesn't have the highs, the THC in it at all, so it doesn't get you high. You can't get high from hemp, and it can be used to make rope, paper, clothing, all kinds of things, fuel. It's a very useful plant, and like I said, I consider it a crime against humanity for it to be illegal. Marijuana is highly beneficial, and a lot of people benefit from it. It does a lot of things for people. And with it being illegal, you're just helping the drug industry. We have this fake war on drugs that's been going on since, the 70s? That if anyone is winning, it's drugs. Drugs is slaying it in the war on drugs. Drugs is doing really well. Drugs sell themselves. You don't have to sell drugs. They sell themselves. All species alter their consciousness in some way, shape, or form. We're not the only ones that do it. Even dolphins will get themselves high by attacking pufferfish. All other species alter their consciousness in some way. And yes, it does alter your consciousness. But I believe that it is put here for us. I really do. I believe that. I believe marijuana was put here from God for our use. But even if you don't, people that deal with these ailments, people that have cancer, people that have all kinds of medical problems are able to treat themselves with this miracle plant. And they're able to get off of things like opioid addiction. And they're able to get off of pills, get off of antidepressants, get off of all kinds of things because of marijuana. And we need to legalize it on a national level. It means, and like this article that this picture is from says that marijuana legalization means safer borders. Treating it as a drug isn't stopping it. It's not stopping it at all. I've always been able to get marijuana. And throughout my entire life, it has been illegal. It's not been hard for me to obtain. It's just they want to be able to lock people up for it. They want to be able to take people and take their freedom away over a plant, over a flower that grows wild, that would be here whether we cultivated it or not. This plant is completely beneficial. And this article, is marijuana harmful to health? No. That's the other thing. You have liquor that is totally legal. I can go down to the corner store right now where they allow children and buy all the liquor and cigarettes that I want, and I can smoke myself into a coma. No one will stop me. I'm totally allowed to do that. But I could go to prison for having an ounce of weed, an ounce of a flower that grows naturally. That is ridiculous. That is a crime against humanity, in my opinion. But with it being illegal, you open yourself up to all kinds of weird things, like these fake cartridges. A lot of attention has been being given to this vape cartridge stuff, but with it being illegal, these fake cartridges. Now, the vape is very huge, right? And the tobacco industry is coming out against vaping, but cannabis has jumped into the vaping game, and there's these cartridges you can buy, and they're filled with cannabis oil. But people are taking these cartridges and they're filling them with God knows what and selling it as marijuana, and that's harmful, and people are getting hurt and sick. You know, aside from the fact that they're getting ripped off, it's not cheap. A lot of these fake bootleg cartridges cost like $30 more than they would at a dispensary. When I was in Colorado, a vape cartridge for a marijuana pen would be about $30. On the street you're paying $60. And you don't know what you're getting. You could be getting something that's not even THC. You could be poisoning yourself because you're taking a chance. When it's legal, you will be able to go into a store and you will know exactly what you're getting. And that is the safer way to do it, And it shouldn't be ranked next to heroin at all anyway. There's no reason for it to be, look at this picture. There's no reason for it to be ranked with heroin as a dangerous substance on the level of heroin. That's ridiculous. And for people to be sitting and rotting in a cell over a flower is also ridiculous. But legalization is going to help stop this stuff. It's going to help stop a lot of the drug trafficking, and it's going to help stop a lot of the knockoff weed. I don't know if you've heard of this stuff, that K2 stuff. That stuff is very dangerous. And that stuff's widely available. You can get that stuff at a convenience store under the table. A lot of little convenience stores sell that stuff, and that stuff will kill you. That stuff will make you go crazy. That stuff is not marijuana. We have a natural alternative that is being suppressed from humanity over money. Marijuana is not illegal because it's dangerous. No one has ever overdosed on marijuana. It's impossible to do. It's illegal because of money. And it's illegal because they found that they were able to lock up minorities at an exorbitant rate by making it illegal. And they were also able to suppress the hippie movement. That's what the war on drugs was about. The war on drugs was about mass incarceration and suppression. Suppressing the Black Panther movement, the civil rights movement, and the hippie movement. And a way to kick in doors and get people in line, A lot of times the government is, the last thing they're doing is looking out for your best interest, If you believe that the government is out for your best interest and what's in the best interest of humanity, I got to say you're a little bit naive. But I think that we should really push hard for marijuana legalization. And I think you would see huge benefits, not just financially, but with the mental health of this country. It's a highly beneficial plant. I would sing the praises of it all day long, honestly. But real quick, I want to talk about this stray cat. This is a regular, just topic-to-topic type of show. And there is this little cat outside of the convenience store by where I live. And it's this little fluffy kitten, baby kitten. I mean, real small kitten. And it's terrified of people. I've been trying to get this kitten to come home with me for over a week. I've stood out in the rain talking to this kitten. And for a couple reasons. One, my wife wants a fluffy kitten, and this happens to be a fluffy kitten. But two, it's adorable, and it's homeless. And I'm trying to rescue it, but it runs from me every time I attempt to go and get this kitten. And that's the saddest thing in the world to me, because I know it has a legitimate fear of people. I know it probably has a very good reason for being afraid of people. And it's probably well earned. People suck. People suck. On the grand scale, people do. Hey, Dot Connector. I'm sorry I wasn't able to see comments for a section there. Parents in jail for drugs is harmful to society when they can't raise their children. And victimless crimes should be eliminated. I completely agree with you. If you're not hurting someone, I don't have anything against what you're doing. If you're not actively trying to cause harm to somebody, then I don't see the harm in what you're doing. If it makes you happy and it's not hurting anybody, I think you should pretty much be able to do it. I'm all for what makes you happy. What you only live once. And to suppress yourself just to satisfy other people seems very, very silly to me and not a concept that I would get down with. But this little kitten, it's breaking my heart because, it's a homeless kitten. And I've almost thought about bringing my cat up to vouch for me, like just setting it down and going, hey, tell this other kitten that I'm cool so it'll come home with us and won't have to sit out in the rain and the cold. And, it's getting ready to be winter. I feel bad for this kitten. But it breaks my heart. It's fear of people, and I know it's well earned. I know it's well earned. Because people suck. People suck. And I'm sure that some human has done something terrible to this baby kitten, even in its short amount of time on our planet, in its short amount of life. And that's why it doesn't trust people, because it won't let me near it. I've tried, and I've even tried cornering it, like getting someone to help me and trying to catch this kitten. So I want to bring it home. I want to give it a home. I feel bad for it. But that's sad. And, that just plays into, I like animals more than people. A lot of people do, especially dogs. I'm more of a dog person than a cat person, but I love dogs and cats. I love all animals. Animals are great. And, I'm not vegan, but I understand it. I understand not wanting to harm any other living creature. I don't have a good reason for why I'm not, being said I understand it. And it makes me kind of a shitty person, I guess, because I understand that animals are living creatures with souls and all of that. And, maybe I'm going to talk myself into being a vegan during this show. I don't know. But I understand it. I definitely do. Animals have a beautiful soul. Animals have a better soul than most people. But I tend to think most people suck. And I think I've gotten that opinion of humanity from working in customer service. I work in customer service and in restaurants. And those people, the people that come to a fast food restaurant, are among some of the worst people in humanity, in society. I don't know why, but something about walking into a fast food restaurant makes average people, feel like royalty. Like they feel like for some reason they can treat people like garbage. Not everybody, but the rare customers are so rare that you end up losing faith in humanity. It gets to be hard sometimes, especially because you're required to smile. When you're in customer service, you're required to be friendly, no matter how the person in front of you is treating you. No matter how they're talking to you, you're supposed to stay there with that fake smile on your face and take it. It's a hard job. I think everybody should work in customer service for a little while just to find out how hard that job actually is. It is a challenging job. It really is. But the next thing I want to get into real quick, and this is kind of a teaser for tonight. This isn't the conspiracy theory show, but I want to talk about something. NASA, and this isn't it. I couldn't find it. I was trying to find the picture, but NASA has released new pictures of Mars where you can see both poles. And in this one, you can't tell. Maybe if they spun it around, the other side would have ice at the poles. But now the new pictures of Mars show ice at the poles. And the CGI detail on these pictures is incredible. And I say CGI because, is this it? No, there's more detail. There's more detail, even more than that, in the new one. But I saw it this morning, and the detail was breathtaking, but it is CGI. Every image from NASA is fake. Every single image. NASA deals in complete deception. Always has, ever since their inception. NASA is a fraudulent organization. NASA has fraudulent foundations. We can get really deep into that. But these pictures from Mars, that blows me away, that people believe that there's a rover on Mars. They believe that this little guy right here is traveling around Mars now, and sending pictures back to Earth. High quality pictures. We can go through and look at some of these pictures that this little Mars rover is supposedly sending back from Mars. I can't get a cell phone reception where I'm sitting. On Earth, on planet Earth, I can't get a cell phone reception where I'm at. But this little guy is sending pictures, high definition quality pictures of Mars to Earth. How's it doing that? You know, I'm sure there's technology that exists and the government possesses that would blow me away. Technology that is so far out of my imagination and my even capabilities of imagination that it would look like magic to me. But I seriously doubt that they are beaming images from Mars. I think this is taking place in the desert somewhere. I honestly do. I think this is in the desert somewhere on Earth. I fully believe that. And I have no proof other than logic. I have no proof that this little rover is not traveling around on Mars. None. Now, whenever I don't have proof, I always say so. But everything in my core tells me that this is bullshit. This is lies. There is no rover on Mars. We've never been to Mars. I don't think we've ever been outside of low Earth orbit. You know, NASA is actually pretty open about the fact that they can't get out of low Earth orbit, that they can't even get equipment through the Van Allen radiation belt. You can look up video of them telling you that they can't do that. They can't figure out how to get back to the moon. They say that we lost the capability. We lost that information. They don't know how. Well, they say they could recreate it, but that the process would be a very long and drawn-out one, and that it's not worth doing. They may eventually decide to recreate looking into going at the moon, but not right now. They don't want to figure that out. But they say this little guy is traveling around Mars, taking pictures. I think now they say that it's ran out of gas or ran out of battery and it's no longer there. But, well, it's still there, but it's no longer sending pictures. But if you would believe them, you would believe that this high-quality image, very high-quality image. Apparently there's another rover that takes pictures of the rover. But this high-quality image was taken on Mars. That is Martian soil underneath that rover's wheels. If you believe that, I've got a bridge to sell you. Because NASA is quite open with the fact that they can't get out of low Earth orbit. They can't go out of low Earth orbit. They don't have the capability. They can't even get equipment through the Van Allen radiation belts without frying it. They're actually doing a mission right now called Orion, I believe, where they're trying to figure out how to get equipment through the Van Allen radiation belt. Equipment. Now, the Van Allen radiation belt surrounds Earth. You can't get through it. They say so. They admit it. And they admit that they can't send equipment through it, that it would fry it out. It's such heavy radiation that it would fry out and cook anything you sent through it. But we did it 7 times, right? We went to the moon 7 times. That's what they'd have you believe. 7 times. We landed on it, what, 6? Only 1 failed mission. And that wasn't even a colossal failure. That was just they failed to land on the moon. If you believe in that. If you believe these rockets are traveling to outer space, I believe you're massively deceived. I believe you're massively deceived. This is all CGI. Every bit of it. Every image that I can pull up from NASA is CGI. And they admit to it. This shit from the ISS is CGI. It's all CGI. And they'll tell you that there's reasons. They'll tell you there's reasons they have to do that. They have to take a composite image because of the size of the Earth. They can't get it all in one picture, so they have to take a composite image. And then they have to re-add in things like clouds and all of that, and lighting and stuff like that. The big blue marble picture, let me try to find that they were so excited NASA put out in the 80s, I believe. I had a poster of it on my wall. It's a beautiful picture. You can watch on YouTube a video of the man that designed that picture explaining how he designed it and telling you that it is a composite image and telling you that it has to be. That they cannot take a picture of Earth. Why not? Why not? Why do they have high detail pictures of Mars? And why can't I find it? Is it only because I'm live and I'm trying to find it? But they just released a high profile picture, a high detailed picture of Mars. Look at this CGI. And they'll tell you sometimes. Sometimes they'll tell you, like this, they tell you is CGI. But look at that. It's ridiculous. This is a picture. First nearby super Earth. This is a picture of a nearby super Earth. How close could this possibly be? But they can't take a picture of Earth? People believe it. This deception goes on every day. People buy it and eat it up. I don't get it. And now they're flirting with disclosure. You know, they're flirting with letting you know about aliens. Because they've dealt with UFOs for a long time. And the Air Force is now admitting to it. The Air Force is now coming out and admitting that they dealt with UFOs for a long time. They just released some videos of pursuits with UFOs, and they put them on CNN. They were in mainstream media, and they talk about it, that they've dealt with UFOs, and they're creeping towards disclosure. They're going to sell you an alien. They are going to present a species to you and call them alien. Well, they're not. They're not aliens. There's no such thing. You know? But NASA's whole point is magic. You know, earlier I was told by somebody that magic doesn't exist. That magic isn't real. Well, that's wrong for a couple reasons. But I'm going to tell you one of the main reasons why it's wrong. Magic is a lot of different things. You ever heard the phrase Hollywood magic? All right, Hollywood is magic. Not just the magical worlds that they create, but the whole thing. They are casting spells on you. That's real. You know, we're going to get way into conspiracies tonight. This is just my regular talk show. I don't get way into conspiracies on here, but we're flirting with it a little because it's Conspiracy Theories and Chill Day. It's show day. But here, that's a famous image from the moon now. He's on the moon. Who is this? Who is that? But, you know, it's all out there. It's all out there. And it's like this. This is CGI. That is not a real picture of Earth. That is CGI. This is fake. You can't find real images of satellites in flight. And you don't ever see them. Like in this picture of Earth, there are supposed to be somewhere like hundreds of thousands of satellites out in space. Do you see one? Anywhere? When you watch the ISS live feed, do you see satellites go by? Ever? You know, NASA released a picture of Earth from the moon, from behind the moon. Stop motion video. You never saw a single satellite. You know, they leave out details, and I don't think it's from incompetence. I think it's on purpose. I think that the people at NASA know exactly what they're doing. And the deception is unreal. And that people buy it. People buy these images. That is fake. Not that one. That's from Earth. This one. That is fake. That is fake. This is fake. That's the big blue marble. You can watch the guy talk about how they even put this little accent for the light. There's words in the clouds. On one of the pictures of Earth from space, there's only been like 8 or 9 official NASA images of Earth. And in one of them, sex is even written out in the clouds. They're cartoons. They are cartoons. These are all cartoon images. They can't even figure out what color Earth is. Look, sometimes it's big, bright, blue, and the land masses. And they can't figure out how big America is. Look at this. Look how big America is there. Outrageous, right? Now look at this other image of Earth. America's much smaller. You know Africa is much bigger than that? People don't realize how big Africa is because the maps that we use, are inaccurate. They don't even tell you the real size of land masses or where they are. Look into that. Everything in this life is a lie. This is the age of deception. You have to constantly look behind the curtain. And that's what we do on Conspiracy Theories and Chill. But what I was talking about, this person told me that magic isn't real. Magic doesn't exist. Well, magic absolutely is real. For one, it's a practiced religion. It is a religion, and people practice magic. Now, you don't have to believe it, but they do. Now, maybe it does nothing, but it is real. It is a practiced religion. People practice witchcraft, and they practice magic, and the occult practices magic. You might believe that it has no powers, but they do. They believe it does. And they're the illuminated ones. They're the ones with all the knowledge. So even if you're not religious, the Illuminati is. Those in power over you are. You ever wonder why? I do, all the time. I think it's fascinating. But they are religious. Those in power over us, they take all this very seriously. Dot Connector says NASA equals not a space agency. Good point on the photos. There's no way it could send the photos. Good point on the satellites. And Africa is huge. Now, I could show you more images of Earth from space. They never show the proper proportions. And they always make America really large. America is very small in comparison to Africa. But if you looked at a globe, you would think they were the same size. And we'll get into all that, especially the NASA deception, really deep in an upcoming Conspiracy Theories and Chill. I'm sorry I lit a cigarette. I made it a long time. I made it 32 minutes. I try not to smoke on air. And I'm getting better. I'm going to try to quit smoking entirely. Smoking is terrible. And it's heavily addictive. Like I was talking earlier about marijuana being illegal. And this is legal. I can buy this in 17 different flavors right down the street. Isn't that crazy? And this is killing me slowly. And they're very addictive. Very addictive. But Hollywood, let's get back to magic. Magic is real. And Hollywood is a cult to its core. And Hollywood magic is not just a phrase. It's not just something they say. It's very real. Hollywood magic is very real. Movies and entertainment have a huge amount of power over you. You may not realize it, but they do. And they can change people's perception. And they also program us with movies and entertainment. And that's just a fact. That's true. To ignore these facts is to live in a state of denial, to discredit reality. And I don't understand doing that. You got to keep your eyes open. You got to keep your eyes open to what's actually going on in this world. Because this is the age of deceit. Because this is a time of mass deception. But magic is real. And what we experience with magic, the way magic is used on us, is through music, movies, and television. And that's done through Hollywood. Hollywood has occult origins, This stuff is real. It's not popular to talk about sometimes. People don't like to acknowledge it. People don't like to discuss that we're being manipulated, but we absolutely are. We absolutely are being manipulated, and we should wake up to that reality because it is real. Magic has evolved. Magic is still around. Magic is subliminal. Magic has a lot of different levels. Magic is real. Magic exists. And Hollywood is a place of magic. Magic has many meanings. This person who was telling me that magic doesn't exist is conditioned by a world that wants you to believe that everything is innocent. That there's no way that there's an agenda in Hollywood. There's no way that there's an agenda in the music industry. How can you think that the Illuminati or any evil entity controls entertainment? Well, because there's nothing but endless facts to prove it. And to ignore it that's naive. You want to talk about being naive because you think that these places that present pretend realities and pretend situations aren't manipulating the public. Well, look at all these logos. Look at Universal's logo, the globe. Very, very many companies have that logo, the globe logo. A lot of Hollywood entertainment companies have globe imagery. But they have all kinds of imagery like that. And they push agendas. Where were you taught about space? Where were you taught mostly about space? From Hollywood. Where were you taught about a lot of things? Where did most of your education come from, whether you want to admit it or not? From Hollywood. From television. I was raised by my television. I grew up in the 80s, and most of us were. Television was my babysitter. But they do it with the music industry too. They have been exposed. Subliminal images and subliminal messages were exposed a long time ago. That is magic. And then technology can be magic. Magic is real. If I showed somebody 50 years ago my smartphone, they would think I was a wizard. And that's what magic is. Hollywood magic is absolutely real. It's absolutely real. They can create worlds that don't exist, and they can change opinion and public perception. They can drive the narrative. They can cast illusions. And that's what magic is. So magic is absolutely real. And all of this stuff that is designed to make you ashamed to think for yourself, all of it, was done for exactly that reason. They don't want you to think for yourself. The most dangerous thing to the powers that be is a population that thinks for themselves. That's why you're taught from the time you're little to just regurgitate information. Don't have any original thoughts. Don't think for yourself. Take what we told you. Take your approved information and run with that. But magic is real. And to deny it is to be naive. Just like to deny conspiracies are real. People are made to be ashamed of the term conspiracy theory. The CIA did that. The CIA weaponized the term conspiracy theory after the JFK assassination because they wanted people to be ashamed to be a critical thinker. And they wanted to silence those that were speaking out and make them look like crazy people. And it worked. Conspiracies are real. Theories are real. You put two words together, it's still real. But they've got you ashamed to think that powerful people work together to achieve their goals. Why is that crazy? It's not. You've just been convinced that thinking for yourself is crazy. And that in itself is magic. That's magic. They have used their black magic to get you to betray your own mind, to betray what you see in front of you even, and to not listen. Dot Connector says the elite want the people to have a same think hive mind. That's a very good way to put it. That's very true. They program you what to think and believe. And they do that through their media. The media is nothing but mass propaganda. It's weaponized, and it is designed to break up, divide, distract, and misinform humanity. That's all it's for, and it is also magic. It's magic. Magic is real. Magic is everywhere. And the people that pull the strings in this world, they believe in magic. They believe in that stuff. And they believe it has power. Whether you do or not. You know, the Illuminati is real. And that's the kind of things we get into on Conspiracy Theories and Chill. And we'll be getting into that tonight. So I'm kind of in the conspiracy mood because I'm preparing the show. I'm getting it ready. The way it works is I put together a video for you guys, and we watch that video together, and then we hang out and talk about the video or anything you want. We usually hang out for like an hour. Tonight's video, again, is on Lucis Trust, and that is a Luciferian organization that runs out of the UN. And we're going to go deep into Lucis Trust. I put together a video for you, and like I said, we're going to hang out and talk about it, and we're going to go way into Lucis Trust and whatever else you want. So show up at 9 p.m. right here on the Yankey Show page, and check out Conspiracy Theories and Chill, and hopefully I'll be multi-streaming it. Hopefully I'll be coming out to YouTube at the same time. So hopefully at 9 p.m. here on Me on Things and Stuff on YouTube, you'll see it too. But if not, check it out on Facebook, and we will get that going eventually. We will get to a point where we're multi-streaming. But this has been Yankey Show. This is just a talk show where we hang out. I've been trying to do more live streams on YouTube to grow my audience. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's my first little goal. But subscribe. We have a lot of great content, and check it out. Check out some of the videos on the channel, and check out our content. We're just a growing channel, but I want us to grow into a network. I'm going to get in more content creators, and we're going to do more shows. We're going to be a whole network here. So subscribe to the channel so you can stay with what's going to happen with us coming up, because we're going to be getting into a lot neater things and doing a lot neater stuff. So be a part of that and subscribe. But let me know in the comments if there's anything that you guys want to get into before we close out. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plug myself real quick. Like I said, there's links in the descriptions for how to support the shows, and also links to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Please follow me on Twitter. I need good followers on Twitter. Twitter is hard. You know, I'm building a social media presence, and one of the ones that I'm having the most trouble with is Twitter. You know, it's hard to get noticed over there. It's like talking to yourself in a crowded room is what it feels like all the time. That's what Twitter's like to me. At least that's been my experience with it. But follow me on Twitter. My handle is on the screen, @SeanYankey, and I would really appreciate that. But let me know if there's anything you want to get into, because I am going to get back to work on the video for tonight and get that all finished up and ready to go. And that's what this was. This was a way to do a show and promote the video tonight. So that's why we got way into conspiracies. But Yankey Show is a little bit of everything. It can be anything. And it's a random show right now, but it has a regular day as well on Sundays on Facebook. But I'm leaving Facebook. Not leaving Facebook, but I'm going to pull attention away from Facebook. Facebook is suppressing me and shadow banning me, so I'm going to give YouTube more attention now, and Twitter and DTube and Twitch, and I'm going to start reaching out to other platforms, because I'm going to try to get this message out. It's hard to speak truth in today's world. And all of my shows, no matter what they are, they're all centered around the truth. I always try to bring light and focus to the truth. That's what they're all about. So, and that's what the whole channel is about. There's different forms of entertainment, but all of it centers around truth and being real. Because I think that's the most valuable form of entertainment. I think that's what we need to do. But thanks for watching, guys, and check us out tonight at 9. Like I said, hopefully we'll be streaming in both places. But we'll definitely be on Facebook on the Yankey Show page at 9 p.m. tonight for Conspiracy Theories and Chill. Dot Connector says, what do I know about the legal system? Probably the average amount that a pretty well-informed person would know. I wanted to be a lawyer at one point, so I flirted with going to law school. I've always been very interested in the law, and I've delved into it pretty deep for an average layman. So a decent amount would be the answer to that. I know a decent amount about the legal system. But, we all have a computer in our pocket, so anything that I need to know, I could find out easily. But I try to stay as informed as I possibly can, which is difficult. Because even for somebody that's aware to what's going on, this is the age of deceit. And everything is a lie. So you got to really dig. You got to even research when you find a good source. Like if you say you like my show, like I'll always be honest with you if I don't know something for a fact, but I want you to check what I say too. Even when I tell you something's true, Google it. Check it out for yourself. Listen, one of my favorite people in the truth movement was William Cooper. That was my inspiration for getting into the truth movement. And I used to listen to him all the time. I still do. Like I still upload his videos to my YouTube channel, and I still listen to William Cooper. Even though the powers that be, I think, killed him in 2001. So he's been gone from us for a while, but he was a great voice for truth. And he said to look at everything, but believe nothing. Take it all in, but figure out for yourself what is true and what is real. That's what you can trust. You can always trust yourself. And unfortunately, that's about it. You can never really be fully aware of people's intentions. So look at things for yourself. Take it all in. Don't close yourself off, but verify things for yourself and look into things for yourself and seek out the truth. And when you find it, support it. Do all you can to support independent media and independent truth and things like that when you find it, because we have to protect those things. It's on us. The mainstream media and the powers that be and Google and YouTube and Facebook and all of that are going to do all they can to suppress things like this. I'm running into suppression on Facebook right now, but I'm sure that eventually I'll find it everywhere I go. Every platform I end up moving my stuff to, I will find suppression because I share the truth. And in this day and age, the mainstream is trying to kill the truth. Book burning is still a very real thing. It just looks different now. It's more like this content cannot be found. That's what book burning looks like now. A 404. But this has been Yankey Show, and I got to get back to work. I got a video I got to put together for you guys for tonight's Conspiracy Theories and Chill, and I'm still working on it. So we will be ready to do that at 9 p.m. tonight. Come back at 9 and hang out with us for Conspiracy Theories and Chill, and thanks for hanging out with me for a little while for Yankey Show. We'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for hanging out.